What it do, H-Town? What it do? On today's rundown, I have your Houston Texans way too early draft grades. What the national media believe Nick Caserio did, and what is the grade that they gave the Houston Texans for the players that they brought in. Some of these guys are expected to compete for roster spots, and some of these guys are just depth pieces. Who will emerge as the top talents out of this year's draft? H-Town, get your listening ears ready, strap up your boots, and let's go.
Hey, Houston fans, I am so happy.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1.
Are you ready? I was born for this. Look, every Sunday, I don't give a, whenever we play, I get that text. Are you ready?
Texas!
The pitch. And Altuve hits it in the air pretty deep to left. Carter is back at the wall, leaps, and it is gone! It's gone! How do you like that?
One game at a time.
Green still with it. Gets it back, lets it fly, and got it!
Win 0-2, win 0-2, 1-2.
Welcome back, H-Town. Welcome back. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to spend a few minutes here on Everything H-Town Sports Debate Show. I'm your dreadhead host, Hot Topic TV, and like always, please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, hit that notification bell so you can get the latest fire when your boy dropped the latest Texans, Astros, and Rockets news. But on to the topic at hand, and today's show is about the way too early draft grades that the Houston Texans are receiving, and I love it, I love it, I love it. Everybody knows it's too early. But you still like to see the grade that the national media gave your team and gave your general manager and gave your head coach and your organization as a whole. You like to see what the national media thinks about the talent that the Houston Texans and Nick Caserio brought in. So I know it's early. We all know it's early, man. We don't need you guys to be like, oh, man, it's way too early. I understand it's way too early.
Watch your mouth.
We all understand it's way too early, but you still like to see what the national media and the local media believe your team and believe the talent that your team brought in. So I say like this: I seen a lot of national medias give Nick Caserio and his Houston Texans organization an A. On day one, they gave us a grade A, and they started that off by saying, I guess the Stephon Diggs trade is tied into day one because we didn't have a day one pick, but we traded back, got an additional second round pick. We used that additional second round pick that we got from the Minnesota Vikings, and we used it to bring in Stephon Diggs. So pretty much he's our first round pick or our day one pick. So they gave that trade and that whole scenario an A. Okay, so on day two, they gave us a B. We brought in 2 second-round picks and a third-rounder. We brought in Kamari Lassiter. We brought in Blake Fisher, and we brought in Kalen Bullock. Okay, Kamari was a cornerback from the Georgia Bulldogs. Blake Fisher comes from Notre Dame, and Kalen Bullock is a safety from USC. Those are the three players that we brought in on day two of this draft, and we got a B for that. And then we got an A for day three for the rotational pieces, the pieces that may be competing for starting spots. I don't know, man. Look at Puka Nacua. He came in the 6th round and the guy was a star. So you never know what you're getting in these guys. You know they have some great traits. The guy played at D1 schools and top schools, so they have some talent. So you never know what these guys are going to be. But the guys that we brought in from day three, on day three is we brought in Cade Stover. I like that dude. He's a tight end from Ohio State. He played with C.J. Stroud for a couple of years. We brought in a linebacker from Oregon and Jamal Hill. We brought in a running back from Louisville and Jawar Jordan. We brought in another defensive end, Solomon Byrd. I really think this cat is a steal, man. Solomon Byrd from USC. We brought in a defensive tackle, Marcus Harris from Auburn. And we brought in an offensive guard, Ladarius Henderson from Michigan. But the guys out of day three that I really like is Cade Stover, and I like Solomon Byrd. Man, that guy can bend a corner and cause hectic. I don't even know what I want to say. He can cause ruckus in the backfield. That guy is a strip sack artist. That guy right there is a dog. When he get into that quarterback, I like what he can bring. Don't know why he slid so far. I'm not gonna sit here and say I watched the all 22 and every single thing that this cat can do, but his highlight films highlight some of the greatest attributes that this cat has, and that's getting after the quarterback and stripping that football and causing havoc in the backfield. Okay, but those are the guys. So for day 3, the draft analysts gave us in the national media, they gave us a grade A. So for all around grade, the Houston Texans got an A- for their total grade for all 3 days. All the players that we brought in. Excuse me. But to me, okay, the Houston Texans were looking for guys like Nick Caserio and D'Amico Ryans. They look for guys who's going to come in here and have that dog mentality, that want to compete no matter what draft slot they was drafted at. They not looking at any of that. Once you touch this football field, if you can go out there and you can compete and you can be better than the man that's in front of you, you're going to get that spot. So everyone that they brought in was a fierce competitor. They had a dog mentality and they was ready to go, and they will be ready to go. And they're going to have to prove that out there, because now the Houston Texans have a lot of talent. This roster is very, very deep, and they have a lot of guys that they're going to have to compete with. They're going to come in here and get it done. And they're going to have to prove that, starting from rookie mini camps to all the way through the OTAs and the mandatory mini camps and on to training camp, which that's going to start, I believe, like a week earlier, because we're in the Hall of Fame game. So it is on. We don't have 3 preseason games. I believe we have 4 this year. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing some of these young guys in the Hall of Fame game, because I don't believe the day 1 starters are going to be playing in the Hall of Fame game. But you never know. D'Amico Ryans is a hard-o, and he's old school. He has the old school mentality, and he might want to see some of these guys play in the game. But I know he's smart as well. So these guys may be sitting on the sideline. I don't believe the starters are going to play, because now it's a total of 4 preseason games. So the guys that's trying to make a roster and get a roster spot, and these young guys that was just drafted, is going to get a lot of PT time, baby. A lot of PT time, baby. You know what I mean? But, okay, to me, Kamari Lassiter, man, the guy is a good tackler. The guy is pretty good in coverage. He's not a blazing cornerback, but he makes up from it. He makes up for it with his football smart, his football IQ. He turns to find the ball. You rarely ever catch the guy not looking back, trying to find the ball while he in coverage. So that is a heck of a good trait. And I like that he can tackle. Derek Stingley is the same way. He looks to find the ball, and he's a good tackler. Imagine having those guys on the boundaries. That is a good tandem for years to come. But I like what this guy can bring. He's a dog. He has a dog mentality. He's a fierce competitor. He won 2 national championships at Georgia, and I don't believe he allowed 1 touchdown to be scored on him, dude. He played in the game against C.J. Stroud, and he said C.J. Stroud gave him hell. So I like what this kid, the awareness that this kid have. I like the mentality that he has. He's physical. He's ready to go. So that's what I like about Kamari Lassiter. And I see that's why Nick Caserio and D'Amico Ryans brought this guy in, because he's going to compete for a starting spot from day 1. That cornerback position opposite Derek Stingley is going to have a lot of competition, and may the best man win. Okay, the second pick in the second round was Derek Fisher. I was kind of shocked that we went for a tackle. I'm like, we just paid Titus Howard. We read up with Laramie Tunsil, and we grab a tackle in the second round. But when I watched some film on this guy, when I watched the highlights on this guy is a physical beast. He's a mountain of a man. He's 6'6", 310, 320, 15 pounds, whatever, man. This guy gets it done. He is physical, and he does not get beat. Excuse me. He does not get beat. Titus Howard, I know you've had a couple injuries, man, but that guy coming in to compete for a starting spot. Nick Caserio and D'Amico Ryans did not draft this guy in the second round with a second round pick to be a swing tackle. I'm sorry. Maybe he has some guard versatility and he can bounce over to guard, but I doubt it. Titus Howard, I don't want to see him at guard, but maybe that's what the plans are. But this kid right here is a tackle. He can play the left side and the right side. Maybe he has some guard versatility like I stated earlier, but he didn't get drafted in the second round with a premium pick to be a swing tackle. Even though this team is very, very deep and all these guys are going to have to compete their butts off to get starting jobs, and maybe he start off being a swing tackle or maybe he slides into the guard. But that that second round pick is very, very valuable, and they have high hopes for this guy on this roster. Houston Texans third round draft pick. I like this kid. He's a safety from USC. His name is Kalen Bullock. Great cover skills, man. High football IQ. He's not a great tackler yet. Not a great tackler yet. But the guy is willing to go in there and put his head in there. He will pop you. I know that DeMeco Ryans plans on teaching this guy some technique. None of these guys are finished products. But this guy has positional versatility. He can play cornerback. He can play free safety. This dude is a dog, and he was one of the best defensive players on the roster at USC. USC defense went through a lot. Their defensive coordinator was fired. This kid was put in a kind of tough position this season, but this guy is a baller. This guy get INTs. He has 2 pick sixes. This guy has football IQ, and he plays the safety position as if he's a corner. He's a ball hawk, and I love what this guy is going to bring to this roster. And he's going to make Jalen Petrie and all those other safeties on the edge, man. They're going to have to compete for their spot because this young boy is going to come and play some football. Our 4th round pick, I'm loving this guy. This is my scouting report on him. He comes from Ohio State. He's familiar with C.J. Stroud, played with him a couple years. They very, very cool together, man. C.J. Stroud speaks high praise about this guy, but this guy is a dog. He don't care what he do. He was a middle linebacker, go to tight end. This guy is a football playing Jesse. He's a dog. I don't know what the football Jesse mean. I don't know why, but that's what he sound like. That's what he look like. He's a football playing Jesse, man, and that's Cade Stover from Ohio State. Excuse me, y'all. Cade Stover from Ohio State, straight dog. Former teammate of C.J. Stroud. You watch the highlight films, man. The guy can catch. The guy, he's going to got to get better blocking, but he's a willing blocker. He's going to get out there. He's tough. He's hard-nosed. He's not going to run away from contact. He played like Nick Caserio, I guess, with a torn MCL or something like. He put a brace on it and kept going. The guy is a dog. He's physical. I like this pick. I love this pick, actually. He's one of Nick Caserio and DeMeco Ryans' favorite in this draft. We didn't have a 5th round pick, so on to the 6th round. We brought in a hard-hitting linebacker, Jamal Hill. He's a linebacker / safety. We brought him from Oregon State, man. Not Oregon State, Oregon. We brought him from the Oregon Ducks. He has positional versatility as well. He was a safety, and then he moved him to linebacker. The guy just gets it. He likes to hit. He likes to play football, and that's the theme for all these guys that DeMeco Ryans and Nick Caserio brought in. These guys just love to play football. Man, they not worried about the FDAS, none of that stuff, man. Let's just put me on the football field, coach, and what do you need me to do? I would do it. I love this game. These guys are dogs, and they love to just play football. The other 6th round pick, I love this pick right here, and that's Solomon Byrd. He's I guess a pass rusher or edge from USC. He played with my boy Kalen Bullock. Those are the 2 best defensive players that they had on the roster, and this guy just gets after the quarterback. Man, I love this dude. He's a relentless pass rusher. He's a strip sack artist. I like this dude, man. I think this dude is going to play a huge role, man. People sleeping on this dude, but mark my word, that guy Solomon Byrd looks like he's going to bring something to the table. Okay, now on to the 7th round, and we have 3 7th-round picks. These guys could compete for a spot, but more than likely, these guys are going to be like rotational pieces. They're going to be like depth pieces. I don't know if they make it to the 2nd string or the 3rd string, but these guys are going to provide depth, And these guys are going to provide something to this roster that Nick Caserio likes and that D'Amico Ryans likes. But we brought in Marcus Harris, defensive tackle. Same thing, dog mentality, likes to get after it, get out of it. He have a quick burst from the D tackle position. I like this guy, but he's going to be probably fighting for a rotational, fighting for minutes, man. It's a lot of guys at that DT position that's ahead of him. Maybe he can come in and do what Kirk Hines did a couple years ago and show that he's a valuable rotational piece. The other 7th round pick is Ladarius Henderson. He played 10 games, started 10 games at left tackle at Michigan. He also played 2 years, I believe, 2 or 3 years at Arizona. He was an all first team Big Ten selection. So the guy, that's another guard / tackle that Nick Caserio brought in that has some positional versatility as well. He's going to probably compete for the bottom of the depth type stuff. If he comes in here and he shows that he can beat, that Nick Caserio and D'Amico Ryans just want you to come in here and compete. But the other guy that I like, and I like this pick as well, it's a running back. We needed to add a running back to the running back room, and his name is Jair Jordan. I believe I said Jair Jordan. That's a nice change of pace back. He's kind of like Devin Singletary-ish. He can run in between the tackles. He can run outside zone runs. He can catch out of the backfield. I believe he caught 21 balls out of the backfield. So the guy can do a little bit of it all. He's going to compete against Damian Pierce for that RB2 and all those other guys. But I believe he can come in here and grab that RB2 spot unless Damian Pierce do what he did in his first season. But those are the draft picks, and those are the guys that your Houston Texans drafted in the 2024 NFL draft. And those are the scouting reports that I have on those guys. And those are the draft grades that the national media and the local media gave us. But I wanted to come to you guys, let you guys know that I'm pumped up for this season. We have a lot of veterans, so most of these guys are going to be maybe backups or depth pieces, and then they're going to play their way into start roles or however that go. But the Houston Texans are set up for success, and I'm very excited for this season. H-Town, I'm your dreadhead host, Hot Topic TB. It's been real, and peace.
Texas!
Put some respect on our name.